The first time Commander Elias Ward saw her, she wasn't even standing. She was kneeling, head bowed, wrists locked in polished serasteel cuffs that made her look like a decorative statue instead of a living person. The auction hall aboard the Kithran trade vessel, Emerald Dawn, glowed with sickly emerald lights, reflecting off the cages and the polished floor. Alien nobles lounged on elevated seats, bidding for slaves as casually as humans once bid for livestock. Music hummed in the background, soft, pleasant, designed to make cruelty feel luxurious. Elias hated this place. He wasn't here to buy a slave. He was here hunting a smuggling ring. But then he saw her. A slender Sylvani girl with shimmering gray-blue skin, woven silver markings along her arms, and long white hair braided with metallic threads. She was beautiful, yes. But more than that, there was a quiet sadness in her eyes. The look of someone who had learned long ago that hope was a dangerous thing. The announcer grinned, showing sharp gold teeth. Lot 31, Ari'xel, Sylvani. 20 cycles. Condition, obedient. Role, personal companion. The room murmured with low appreciation. Elias felt something twist painfully in his chest. The Sylvani were known for sharp minds, empathy, and emotional sensitivity. Keeping one as a personal slave was beyond disgusting. It was like forcing a songbird to scream on command. The bidding started. Numbers rose. Hands lifted. Voices sharpened. Elias had no reason, no plan, no logic guiding him. Only a sudden, deep fury. When the announcer called for last bids, Elias heard his own voice cutting through the noise. 50,000 credit strips. The room went silent. The highest bid before his had been 15,000. Aliens turned, stared, whispered. The announcer's grin faltered. Humans weren't supposed to be able to spend that kind of money, especially not Alliance officers. But Elias had seized the entire smuggler ring's accounts earlier that morning. Technically, the money wasn't his, but the Alliance would approve the expense once they heard what it was for. Probably. Hopefully. Sold, the announcer barked. Ari'xel's head lifted just a little, just enough for Elias to see her eyes. Silver, bright, terrified, and also something else, something like disbelief. They released her from the cuffs, placed a thin loyalty collar around her neck, and pushed her toward him. Probably. Most buyers grabbed their new property by the arm. Elias stepped back and gave her space. She flinched in confusion. "You're safe," he said softly. "You don't belong to anyone." Ari'xel blinked rapidly, as though he were speaking a language she had never heard. "The collar," she whispered. "It binds me. I cannot disobey." "I can override it." Elias touched a small handheld scanner to the collar. The device beeped, flashing green. The collar snapped open, falling to the ground with a quiet metallic clink. She recoiled, as if the freedom was a trap. "You removed it," she breathed. "Yes. You don't want my services?" she whispered, trembling. "No," he said firmly. "I want you to walk beside me, if you want to. Not behind, not below." Her eyes filled with tears. No one had ever told her that before. Elias escorted her to the safe section of the vessel, where Alliance law protected her. His ship, the Resolute, docked nearby, ready to leave the hellish market behind. Ari'xel followed him silently down the narrow metal corridor, arms wrapped around herself. She moved with the caution of someone waiting for a blow that never came. When they reached his ship, he turned to her. "You can stay here until we reach Alliance space," he said gently. You'll have full protection and a new identity. You'll be free. She tilted her head, studying him with puzzled, sharp intelligence. You purchased me, she whispered, but not to use me. I bought you, Elias said, to undo the purchase. Ari'xel hesitated. Humans are strange, she murmured softly. Coming from a Silvani, he replied with a faint smile. I'll take that as a compliment. Something fragile flickered across her face, her first hint of a smile. The journey back to Alliance territory took 5 days. On day 1, Ari'xel avoided eye contact, ate little, and spoke not at all. On day 2, she walked with less fear and sat in the common room when Elias cooked meals, though she still spoke only when asked something simple. On day 3, she laughed, softly, shyly, when the ship's maintenance bot, a clumsy spherical machine named Bumper, ran into a wall and beeped in embarrassment. On day 4, she asked Elias questions. Hundreds of them. Why did you help me? Do humans value freedom above comfort? Is kindness a weakness in your culture? And why do you smile when you talk to me? Elias answered every question honestly. But her last one, that one caught him off guard. Do you smile because you like me? He almost dropped his mug. Ari'xel, I respect you. I admire you. But you've been through something traumatic. You don't owe me anything. Not affection, not gratitude, nothing. Her silver eyes softened. I know what gratitude feels like, she whispered. This is not that. On day 5, the Resolute drifted through the golden haze of Alliance-controlled space. Ari'xel stood by the viewing window, staring at the stars with a quiet longing. Her silver hair glowed gently in the soft cabin lights. You're free now, Elias said beside her. When we dock, the officials will help you rebuild your life. You'll be safe. She clasped her hands tightly. And, after I am safe? She asked in a small voice. You'll choose your path, Elias replied. Anywhere you want to go. She turned to him. My path, she whispered, leads here, with you. Elias froze. Ari'xel, you freed my body, she said softly, but you also healed something inside me. Something I thought was gone forever. Let me choose you. His heart tightened painfully. You deserve better than a human soldier with scars and a temper. She stepped closer. I want someone with scars, she murmured. I have many of my own. Ari'xel. She placed a gentle finger on his lips. Elias, she whispered, will you accept me not as a slave, but as an equal, as a partner? He swallowed. Only if you're certain. Her smile grew, warm and trembling and impossibly bright. I am certain, she breathed. You bought my freedom. Now let me give you something freely. He raised a hand, brushing a strand of hair from her cheek. Then he kissed her, softly, gently, as if afraid she might shatter. She didn't. She melted into him, arms wrapping around his waist, clinging with a mixture of relief, passion, and wonder. For the first time in her life, she was held because someone cared, not because they owned her. They married at the Alliance Embassy on Cassian Prime, a planet known for its forests of silver-leafed trees and glowing rivers. The ceremony was small, just a few officers, an ambassador, and Bumper, the robot whirring happily in the back. When the Silvani ambassador placed a circlet of crystalline petals on Ari'xel's head, she looked radiant. No longer a scared, fragile girl from a cage, but a proud Silvani woman choosing her own destiny. Elias had never believed in fate, but when she took his hand, looking at him like he was her entire universe, he reconsidered. After the ceremony, Ari'xel leaned into him and whispered, You did not just save my life, you gave it back to me. And you, Elias murmured, gave mine new meaning. They walked into their future together, two souls who had found freedom, not just from chains, but from loneliness. Years later, when pirates dared attack a Sylvani colony, their commander made a grave mistake. He laughed and asked who would defend those fragile, pretty aliens. He didn't realize the Sylvani colony had someone terrifying on its side. Ari'xel Ward, former slave, now ambassador, warrior, diplomat, and the fiercely loyal wife of a human who had once shattered her chains. And when she appeared on the battlefield, eyes blazing silver, the pirates learned a lesson written into HFY history. Never threaten the family of a human, especially not the woman he freed and loved. For Elias and Ari'xel, their story didn't end with freedom. It began there. End.